Hey guys, um, it's the third night. What's the date today? I don't even know again. It's the 4th of August, Sunday. Already lost track of days. I'm guessing that's going to happen though. Just having a feed. I don't know if you can see that, but got sushi, cream cheese, and salmon, smoked salmon. It's pretty nice. I've just got some mayo for it, extra mayo because I'm a fat bastard. Just trying to set this up at a better angle. That's better. Yes, this is my third night out in the open. Today was great. Sun was out. Went and had done some fishing with some of the other guys that come down to the spot. Cooked some sausages and stuff like that with them, and they're actually local members of the Mongrel Mob gang. They were nice dudes. They were here with their kids fishing, and no dramas at all. Doing positive things with their whānau, with their family, so I'm all about that. So no, I had a good day. Sun was out, so I'm a bit sunburnt, even though it's the middle of winter. New Zealand sun is pretty wicked. Sorry, I just got to turn this off. Car's like surging out. Just hope it doesn't shit itself or I'm in trouble. Anyway, the car's in pretty good condition. It should be fine. So I had a massive day. Took my dogs out and about for a lot of walks, and just getting them into the routine of sort of breakfast and then take them for a walk. They can go toilet. Wake up in the morning, let them out to the toilet, have breakfast, let them play a bit more and maybe go to the toilet again, and then come back in the car for a bit, just while I sort things out, like make plans and plan my day out so I'm not just driving around aimlessly, wasting petrol. I had a good day. I went to my parents' house as well. They had fry bread, which is like pretty much just fried up donuts, really, like dough, with golden syrup and jam, so pretty fucking good. And what else? Oh, and she had some leftover bacon and egg muffin things from church, because she goes to church. So I ate those as well, which was a bonus. And my dogs even got some leftover sausages from their house, so the dogs were happy too. Pretty much back out on the road now. Back at the same spot I parked last night. I had a good sleep last night. Where I am, the car actually, you go up a bit of a hill and then you stop. And for me, it works in my favour because I only have to put the chair back less of an angle to be flat, and it leaves more room for my dogs. I didn't plan on it; it just happened that way. So the dogs are loving it. Dogs haven't had this much attention in a long time. They were a bit neglected, like very spoiled, but between going to work and sleeping, they're quite neglected. So, not really, but I felt sad for them when I was away, because I worked long hours, and I'd come back and feed them, and then go back to work, and but not at the moment. They've had a whole weekend with me. I think they think they're dreaming, because it's just been real cool to hang out with them as well. What else is going on? I'm loving the spot at the moment. I feel a bit weird, almost like I'm starting to get a bit paranoid that people are looking at me badly. I know they're not, because this is what the area is for, but or I also feel like I've stolen someone else's park, because even last night I feel as if someone was gonna pull up here, but then they left because I was here. And tonight they were here early, the same car, and I pulled up and I parked up a bit back. And then when a few other cars left for night time, the fishermen and that, I quickly went up in their park and got the prime real estate again, and I noticed that car started up and left again. It was like they were almost waiting for that spot. To be honest, if they just came over and said something, I'd probably be like, oh, sorry man, like if that's where you've been parking the whole time, then, it's all yours. But they never said nothing, so, and it might just be me thinking too much. Yeah, like I said, I'm just paranoid about people. Also, the other thing that I'm getting is when I'm pulling up into car parks, there's heaps of rubbish, like other people doing what I'm doing, or just people that are frequenting the car parks during the day are just leaving their rubbish. And when I pull in, I make a point of cleaning it up, because if you pull in and the rubbish is there, and then other people pull in and see you parked there and there's rubbish all around you, like, they're automatically going to assume that you are the one dumping the rubbish. So not only just because it's the right thing to do, but yeah, picking it up is definitely something that I'm having to do, and it's quite frequent. Like, yeah. Anyway, so tonight I won't talk too much, because I will get back into my story from last night. I don't even really know where I was up to. I might have to go back and watch. But what was I up to? Went to the doctors, I think, and got diagnosed. Got medicated. I started selling drugs. What else? Yeah, pretty much built a nice little empire. Well, for me, I thought I was the man, but what else? Well, I got busted. I got raided. I don't know if I said that. Yeah, well, we'll get to that part anyway. So, yeah, and the dogs are in the back. They're crashed out. This is the biggest day they've ever had in their life. They are buggered. They're snoring. So, never mind the snoring. That's them. I haven't kidnapped anyone. So, but I was living this lifestyle, and eventually everything comes to an end, and I registered a cell phone in my brother's name, and I went away to the Gold Coast for this V8 supercars. There's a V8 supercars event. I'm not really into them, but when you got money and nothing to do, and why not? So we got a hotel in the Gold Coast. Pardon me. We got a hotel in the Gold Coast, and you could watch the opening ceremony and stuff from it, and pretty much watch the race from where the hotel room was. And it was so cool. Like, we got there, and just like getting ready for the night, and we're getting ready to go out and, I don't know, go for a walk around the town, and then come back and watch the opening ceremony. And it was really exciting. Oh, another friend from New Zealand called me, and he was in town for it, and I was planning on catching up with him, and then yeah, I was with my girlfriend and her sister, and funnily enough, her sister's actually a police officer, but from the other side of the country, from Western Australia, so she came to visit, and I get a phone call. I don't know. We're about ready to go out, and my phone rings, and it's a private number. No caller ID. And I'm like, I don't usually pick those up, but I just had this weird feeling. Like, I picked it up, and it's g'day mate. This is Detective Radi Ra from the Queensland Drug Enforcement Squad. This isn't a prank call, and we are at your property in Brisbane, and we're here with your brother, and we need to know, are you going to hand yourself in, or are we going to do this the hard way? Keep in mind, at this point, I had, in the house that my brother was in, which was my house, my brother was there, which just happened to be his fucking birthday too, which sucks. There was a very large amount of, I won't go into specific details, very large amount of cannabis, very large amount of methamphetamine, and a decent amount of MDMA. I had encrypted cell phones, old ones that I hadn't thrown out, which I should have. They were stockpiled in this fucking drawer somewhere. Weapons, I made my own crude weapons as well, like very crude, like bought pitchforks for the garden and sharpened them, and then extended them, so if anyone ever kicked the door down, I could stand at the top of the stairs and harpoon them from the top. So this is the type of shit that I was coming up with to ensure my safety and everyone around me. I had tasers, guns, pistols. I don't actually know, I believe it was a revolver. I don't actually know too much about guns, but the gun was a revolver. I think it was 9mm or something like that. I'm not, or 22. I'm not 100% sure. I had a pump action shotgun, which I think are illegal, to own, and what else? Anyway, I had a small arsenal of weapons, and I had my money with me, which was a blessing in disguise, but because I was able to leave it at the hotel. But anyhow, so yeah, I'm talking to the guy. I said, look, I'll definitely come home, and I'm in the Gold Coast. It's about an hour drive, but in peak traffic it's about an hour and a half. So give me 2 hours at most, and I'll come straight there. And he was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, if we'll give you that time. Like, we'll just sit here. We'll let your brother watch the basketball. It's his birthday. He can even have a beer. So they let him grab a beer and watch the basketball while I was on my way. I'm assuming that if I didn't show, they would have charged him with everything that was in the house. Also, because the cell phone I had was registered to him, they had been surveillancing it, and I think when they finally worked out it was me, they knew he was telling the truth, that he knew nothing about the phone. So, but if I didn't turn up, they would have used that against him and charged him. So, with a whole heap of shit that he had nothing to do with, and that was on me. So, anyway, I get off the phone, I get my girlfriend in the room. I say, hey, look, man, the house just got raided. They got everything. It's not looking good. Curtis is there. Mind you, it was his birthday too, and I'm gonna have to edit his name out. But mind you, it was his birthday as well, and he'd had a bit of a toot, and I shouldn't even say that actually. I might have to cut that whole thing out. But he was, let's just say he was flying high when they turned up, and he was fucking yeah, they're sweating. I think he was just sweating, and they were asking him, "Are you okay?" But anyway, so I told my girlfriend, and I got in the car and started heading back to Brisbane, and was the it was the longest drive I've ever been on in my life. The thoughts that I was having, oh my god, I can't even tell you. Like, I was, yeah, I wasn't. I was very sad. Let's put it that way. I was very sad, and I was very scared. I was just like, my anxiety and my depression all just lumped back down on top of me, and I thought, of course it does. Like, that's how it works, right? Like, you go from one high to the next. Like, especially if you're doing the wrong thing, it always ends badly. Everyone always says that, so you know, it is what it is. But sorry, someone just pulled up. So I'm on my drive home, and I figured, fuck. I actually didn't know. I didn't at that point. I didn't know that they knew about the cell phone, and or anything about, like, it was registered to who it was, and so I thought I'd be a smart guy and smash it into a million pieces and then scatter it down the highway as I was driving back to my house. So that's what I did. I smashed it up and scattered it all the way home. I got home and I jumped out of the car, and there were two officers, like, in a full geared up with guns and everything, and they leaped out of a bush, and were like, hands on your head, rah, rah. Secured the car and secured me, I guess, and they were under the impression that I was going to come home swinging or firing, I don't know, but they just couldn't risk it. So anyway, once they established that I was cooperating and everything was safe, and that I wasn't a threat, they searched my bag. I had like one of those drug dealer bags, like I think it was an Armani Exchange or something fucking stupid like that. Like, you know, like little flop top. You put your fucking 20 different phones in there and put all your cash in there and fucking a couple little baggies and, you know, get around town. Just ridiculous. Sorry, I'm gonna have a piece of sushi. You might have noticed that I inhaled that piece of sushi. It's the only way I eat it. I don't bite it because it falls apart. So I just shove it straight in my gob. And she's done. But anyway, they searched my bag and they're looking for the phone. And they just looked. They looked very, very angry when I told them that I lost the phone. And they looked very, very fucking angry. I think the phone was a big part of the case. They needed it. Anyway, and the first thing he says is, "Oh, that's another charge, destroying evidence. Something about terrorism, under the terrorism law or some shit." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, so another mistake because I'm so clever. Anyway, we get inside, and my brother's just, he says, "It's all good. I haven't said anything. We're good." I just told him, I said, "Hey, bro, it's cool. Like, you're not a part of this. Like, this is all mine." And anyway, they presented all their findings to me. So we found this. Is it yours? And I just accepted and said yes to all the drugs and the scales and the bags, and like, the list was fucking never ending. I had a grow set up. Wasn't set up, but it was packed away. They charged me for that. Yeah, let's just say there was probably close to 30 or 40 different charges. Also, whilst I was under surveillance, I assaulted two people. One, I assaulted just a cheeky dude. I took it upon myself to appear at his house to fight him, and he kept running away from me. And then every time I get in the car, he'd run back, because I'm a big dude, so I'm not running. I ain't running nowhere. But yeah, he was just fucking messaging me rubbish, and so yeah, I ended up going there, and then I actually pulled a knife on the guy, because I was that frustrated that he kept running away. I don't know how that. I would never have used it, but it was more just to show everyone else at the house that don't fuck with me. Like, it was more of a show than anything. Because you got to remember, it was just me. I was alone. Like, I didn't have a gang. I didn't have an army. I didn't have anyone that was loyal to me. I just had me, and I had to protect what I had, and I couldn't let people like that slide, which is just the way it is. And I'm not. Yeah, I do apologise to that guy, and I do apologise to anyone that's seen it, because it would have been fucking terrifying. But when you're in that world, it's just the way it is. So anyhow, I chased him with a knife, and he fell down. He jumped over this barrier thing and fell down onto another different fucking road, and hurt himself quite badly. What else? I went to another drug deal, and I knew they were going to rob me. There's two Afghanistan dudes. They kept asking for like larger and larger amounts over a week period, and then I don't know what's wrong with me, but like a normal fucking person would just be like, all right, they're going to rob me, don't show up. But no, not me. I bought the shit. Like, I turned up by myself, but I had a axe, a little mini wood axe, like a hatchet, and I had a giant machete right on top of the stuff in the passenger seat. And I pulled up, and really slick dude. Fuck, I'm rambling, man. I'll just tell this one story, then I'll get back to the other one. But a really slick Arab guy comes out with his golden chains and glasses, and he looks the part, and he's got a nice car, a Mercedes something, and he's talking away, and he goes, what's that? And I was like, hey, you know what it is. I was like, that's to make sure I'm safe. And then he goes, oh. And then I seen movement in his car, and the guy popped up, and I recognised the guy, and he pulled a mask down, and I grabbed the machete and just fucking jumped out the car, and I grabbed his mate, and the guy with the gold chain, fancy fella, I grabbed him and said, that's it. I was like, the user done. Like, anyway, they begged for me to let him go, and the only way I was going to do that is if the other guy started the car, got in it, and then I pushed that guy into the car so they could leave. And so that's what happened. And then I got a phone call from the guy after, and he's like, I'm so sorry, like, I've got a really bad debt with someone else, and I'm trying to clear it. And I just said, I don't care, just don't think you can do that to me, because it's never going to happen. Tell your friends too, if they want to try it, I'll get them. Like, it just, and that's the person I became, was just like, not looking for trouble, but if it came for some reason, I would accept happily. But yeah, so anyway, I got charged with that as well. There was so many charges. Here's me, I'm getting ready to get in the fucking back of the police car, and the detective says, hey, nah, you're not coming with us tonight. you're okay. You've been charged. You need to show up to court. You'll get a court date in the next few weeks. We'll give you one. This leads on to another story, but I definitely won't go into that much detail, because this goes into another story of where, so the reason why they let me stay home, and they thought that, they let me stay home because they thought in a couple weeks they could come back and go, hey, look, this is exactly what they did. They came back a couple weeks later and said, look, if you want to cooperate with us and, give us some names and rah, we'll put, because this is Queensland Drug Detective Squad, they're saying we'll put you in touch with an agent from the Australian Federal Police and you can work for him. And I'm not gonna fucking lie, I thought about it because I was looking at a lot of time. I didn't have any loyalty to anyone. There was another, this is how deluded and fucked up my thinking is I actually thought, hey, this could be a chance for me to take over the whole town, essentially. So dobbing in people that are my opposition. So, other people that are doing what I'm doing that I don't actually know, but I can ask other buyers where they're going, tell on them, and that gets rid of them. Just eliminate the competition. That was my thinking, and I was like, fuck, I could do this. I could eliminate the competition. I don't have to narc on the guys that have helped me. I don't have to narc on. I just thought, okay, maybe I'll do it. But when it come to the crunch, I just couldn't fucking do it. That's a filthy way to live, and I don't actually think from what I've heard, Australian Federal Police and the Queensland Police don't really care too much for their informants, so you are just hung out to dry, pretty much. Like, once they get what they want, they hang you out to dry, because they hate informants just as much. They think you're a piece of shit just as much as other criminals do, so yeah, you're just the scum of the earth. So anyhow, that didn't happen. I got a lawyer. I dragged out the whole process for about just over a year. Just getting dismissed and not dismissed, what's it called? I don't even know what it's called. But yeah, having to reappear. And then the fucked up thing was it went from like a normal court, it was just court, then magistrates court, I think it's called, then it went to high court, and then it went to Supreme, which is like, you're fucking out of here, mate, you're done, like, you're going to fucking jail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, unless cops have done something egregiously wrong to you, then yeah. Anyhow, so I was prepared for the worst. I had some money put away. I divvied it up between my brother and my girlfriend to keep running the operation that I had, right? Directed them on how to do it. I actually let them run it for a month before I went to sentencing to make sure they had it dialed. And they had it dialed, and all the other participants were, so the buyers and my suppliers were all good with it. They gave it the nod, so everything was fucking great. We're going ahead. Money was still rolling. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'll go to jail. I'll go get sent back to New Zealand. I'll still be who I am and have what I have. It means fucking nothing to me. I'll just go to jail and learn how to be even more of a criminal. So anyway, I end up in court. Whilst before court starts, the police presented my lawyer with some evidence. It was a DVD, and they said, look, this has everything on it. Like, we know everything. So whatever you guys are going to say today, you must plead guilty, because otherwise you're going to jail for a very long time. And not only that, as soon as you're released, so you're looking at like 10 years minimum, which would probably be 5 years half the time, and then immediate release to get deported, to go. But first you get a pit stop at a place called Christmas Island, and you could stay there. Fuck, actually, man, there's no. It's not Australia. It's not New Zealand. It's not even part of any country. It's just this island. So you could literally get stuck there for the rest of your life, or you could be there for a weekend. You know, like there's no fucking law there. It's just a giant prison for deportees, like terrorists and the worst of the fucking worst. Anyway, so that was the future that was on the cards, or plead guilty, and they would propose to the judge that I be released on a suspended sentence, but I have a month to leave the country, get my affairs together and leave. And it was an easy choice, really. I think they were saying it comes down to, it would have costed their taxpayers money, but probably close to $2 million by the time I had finished my sentence, and then they had to fly me everywhere to get home and shit. So, you know, it worked in more, you know, like it was more beneficial for them, for me to get a sentence that will get me deported. Not only would I get given a month, but I've got to pay for my own ticket home and get the fuck out of there. That cost them nothing. And that's what they wanted. That's the quickest, easiest way to get rid of another piece of shit Kiwi. And no doubt, like, that's what I was being. It's got nothing to do with Kiwis, by the way. I was just being a piece of shit and living up to that fucking stereotype that they've got for us. But anyhow, I chose that. I left things how they were. I left. I got a month. I had a month. So anyway, in that month, I just gave all the money away. The stuff, like, I had things running in the background so that my dogs were looked after, my missus was looked after, and my brother was looked after. All that shit was running on its own. It didn't matter to me. My brother and missus had no idea what I was doing in the background by the time I'd set it up. I had like random people that they didn't know doing what I wanted them to do. And I left a pretty big chunk of money to family members so that they could be happy once I left, because people had become a little bit reliant on what I was doing for their life, and I just continued to do it. What else? I literally left with nothing. I booked me a fucking plane ticket, and I had $3,000 to buy a car when I got off the plane, and then I had my suitcase. And sorry, this probably is the most annoyingest video, but I literally, it was one night, just a couple nights before I left, before I was booked to leave, I don't know, I was really depressed, and I was like just bumming around, and I hadn't had a drink for a long time, like a year or something, and it was Australia Day, and the only thing open on Australia Day is the pubs, and I thought, I've got $100 on me, fuck it, I'll go into the pub, I'll have a beer, I'll talk to a few of the locals before I leave and let them know I'm not coming back and stuff, and I'll have a quick slap on the pokey machine, and fuck, you wouldn't believe it, I won a jackpot on there to the tune of $15,000, like, yeah, And before I won that, I'd already got the machine up to about 2,000, so I left the pub with like 17,000. I shouted everyone in the pub a jug of whatever their favourite drink was. I think that costed me like close to fucking $500 or something. Yeah, so then I went home and I actually didn't say nothing to no one because they were already sorted, and I just was like, oh my god, I'm good. Like, I'm gonna get home. I've got money. I'm not gonna be struggling. I'm not gonna. And yeah, that was it. I literally got a ride the next day to the airport with my girlfriend. Be the last time I ever seen her, by the way, and she dropped me off, gave me a kiss, and I said, live your life, man. Just do what you gotta do. Get a new man. Do everything. It was like, get a normal guy. Like, don't go for another guy like me. Like, you deserve way better, and you don't deserve to be looking over your shoulder, and you don't deserve that. And like, I was very good to her. Like, I was never abusive or nothing, and that fucking broke her heart. Like, that I was doing that to her, and I think I had to act a certain way, just really cold, and just for me to get through that part and to get on the plane, and get the fuck out of there without wanting to run away or yeah. Anyway, so I think that kind of put her in shock, and I got on the plane. Well, first of all, I got to customs, and the customs guy said, "You're not leaving," and I said, "Why?" I'm that's part of my agreement. And he said, "That's ridiculous. You're not leaving this country. You have an active sentence. It may be suspended, but if you fucking do anything, you're you go straight to jail. So leaving the country was actually illegal." And I said, "Hey, look, this is my agreement. I've got it here on paper." He didn't care. And then he said, "Hey, so if you leave today, what is your plan?" And I said, "I'll never, ever step foot in Australia again. Like, I won't even think about it." I was like, "I just want to go. I want to do what I was ordered to do and get the fuck out of here." And he grabbed his stamp and he whacked it down and said, "That's what I wanted to hear." And I said, "See you later." I got on the plane, and when that door shut, I actually celebrated. Like, I celebrated because I just was so amazed that I was able to commit so much crime and not spend a day in jail. And my punishment was to get sent back home where all my loved ones are. Like, that's just how fucking tin-ass uncanny I am as a person. And yeah, I got back to New Zealand. I went and bought the car that I had lined up. It was actually a really nice car for $3,000. Like a little boy racer thing. It had like a body kit, and the engine and that were pretty. It was a Toyota Corolla, but it was a hatchback. It was all body kitted out. It had pearl paint. It was actually quite funny. Definitely didn't suit me, but for $3,000 it was a fucking sweet car. And my mechanic was like, "You couldn't have bought a better car." So I was pretty happy with myself. And I had money in my pocket. I had a phone call from a friend's dad who is a farmer and does firewood, and I got a phone call. Like, the second I activated my phone, my parents rang me, and then he had heard that I'd been sent home, and he rang my parents, and my parents gave him my phone number. And the first thing he said was, "When you get back to town, you come straight out here, you come live with me." He's like, "I've got you a place. I've got you. You can work. Like I've got trucks for you to drive. You can do firewood. He's like, yeah, He's like, you're pretty much. I've always thought of you as one of my own children. And you've always looked after their son and had his back, even though he's fucking off the rails on meth. But yeah, so I just got home to nothing but beautiful awesomeness, like just love and care, and it was fucking so cool. Yeah, anyway, so this video's gone a bit longer than the others, and I'm gonna leave it at that, to where I'm now at going from living at my parents' every now and then, coming back to town and partying, and seeing all my cousins and shit, and then going out for a couple of weeks and living on this farm and riding around in the countryside and beautiful green valleys on motorbikes and doing pretty hard work, but it was rewarding, and it kept me fit and strong and healthy, because I wasn't healthy, I'll tell you that. Like, it only took about a month and I was pretty healthy again, after eating anyway. So yeah, there will be a bits cut out in this because I've mentioned names of people that I want to cut out. Also things that could incriminate others, or things that other people have done that I wouldn't ever talk about, like other people's drug use and stuff like that, because it's not for me to share about people and their addictions and things like that. That's just one thing, like one way I look at it. But anyhow, so I'll leave the rest for another day. That's pretty much the gist of it though. But yeah, let's just say I crank back up again once life's good again, and I forget. I crank it all back up again and get it all up and running over here, and with a different type of mentality and business sense that they didn't really have in New Zealand. New Zealand selling drugs is all about, they used to have a house, like a tinny house. Well, they still do. And you go there and you get your drugs, and that's not how I operate. Like, no one ever knows my address. But what I do is I get drivers, I pay them a percentage of the sale, like the profit of the sale, if not 50% of the profit. Keeps my hands clean, and leaves me to be able to source drugs and not see anyone. But yeah, anyway, we'll get there. So I pretty much started up a revelation in our hometown, because it's how everything runs now. So not very proud of it, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I will follow up with some more. I've been home for 5 years now, so there's not very much interesting stuff. I've had a couple girlfriends, and but I got myself back in fucking all sorts of places I shouldn't have been. And it leads to a happy ending this time, without the jail or arrests or anything like that. I just ended up being a youth support worker out of some miracle that happened for me, a miracle for me, because that's what I love doing now. But I'll get more into that next time. So yeah, you guys, if you can, like, share and subscribe. I know everyone says that, so that's why I'm saying it. Some day 3 out here. Dogs are absolutely wrecked. I'm pretty wrecked and sunburnt, so I'm going to put some YouTube videos on. I might watch some... Who do I like watching? I watch a lot of crime channels. I don't know if that's how I learn to live, but that's seems to be. But I like Grid Sparta. It's like shout out to Grid Sparta. Your channel's sick. People, you should just go check it out. It is what it is. It's just New Zealand crime. All the news for the gangs and stuff like that. What else I like? Pretty much any hunting, fishing, things like that, just to watch. And I like watching the American stuff, like Joe Rogan. I like Theo Vaughn. The little Asian dude. I can't remember his name, but with I think it's Andrew Santiago and someone Lee. I can't remember his name, but yeah, crack up. I watch a lot of comedy stuff. Anyhow, just a shout out. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys are all well, and wherever you are and whatever you're doing, just keep your fucking heads up and keep doing positive stuff. Even if you're doing negative stuff, hopefully it leads to a positive outcome. It probably won't, but I hope it does for you. But anyway, take it easy.